Hey everyone, hope every one of you are doing great. So I was just going through my catalogs on a lot of mental health problems. So as we are pretty much aware, and this is a very layman language also that these days I'm getting depressed, and people used to actually stigmatize sadness with that of depression, and they usually use this word called depression, anxiety very frequently. Okay, but not knowing the complexity. Okay, depression actually is very major complicated mental health problem, and today the major thing for me is to stigmatize those remove those stigmatized belief that people are holding about depression. Okay, and I'll tell you why it is required to demystify these stigmas, because this is really creating lot of problems and increasing lot of untreated cases, creating a lot of burden in the today's world. We are pretty much aware that today's scenario mental health problem is like any other major problem. Okay, it's and I've multiple time told the same thing, that it's like the same physical health. If you don't take care of your physical health uh, properly, repercussions are there. The same thing goes for mental health, but due to a lot of stigmatization that is happening in the world, people are facing problem with mental health. So I think it's my responsibility to demystify some of the myth about depression. We are pretty much aware people saying that I'm sad means I'm depressed and using this term, but I'll just try to say that depression is not just about sadness. It's a prolonged sadness with lot of physical symptoms. We are tiredness, manifestations of lot of physical problems, lack of sleep, lack of eating patterns get disrupted. Okay, lot of emotional numbness happens, and this is a very tough time a person goes through, and he feels like hopeless, helpless, worthless. And these are the three common traits that you feel, and that too for a long period of time. At the same time, everything around him get disrupted, whether it's professional, whether it's personal life, whether it's emotional life, whether it's social life. So some misconception that people are usually having about depression is only successful people sorry means it's a sign of weakness. Do you really think it's just like blaming the high blood pressure persons getting the blood sugar level? Okay, it's just like something like that. It's not a sign of weakness. It's like any other mental health problem that may be a result of lifestyle, that may be a result of genetics. I was just trying to get some idea, but yeah, it's just like in any other problem, and that can be treated. It's not a sign of weaknesses. It's just like any other physical problem. If you're getting injured due to some physical activity, you need time for recovery. The same thing happens with depression also. If you are getting the depression due to chemical imbalance, due to certain lifestyle thinking or certain belief pattern, definitely that requires recovery, that requires therapy. It's not a sign of weakness. And these days the lifestyle have become such that many people are going through this same phase, so it's not a sign of weaknesses. People say only women get affected by depression. I think that's also a stigma. I think research shows definitely women are more prone due to the societal condition that the society has created, but at the same time men are also equally prone to depression. We see a lot of cases, and we should not be making biases. And definitely the societal expectation from men is that they should not be sharing their feelings, and that is what the society has created, and that actually has led to a lot of men not sharing their problems out there. Even though they are going through a lot of turmoil, emotional turbulence within, they will not be sharing their thoughts. So definitely depression, research shows that depression are actually very common irrespective of gender, caste, class. Okay, and it brings me to the third point, that only unsuccessful people get depression, or successful people do not get depression. That's a very illogical myth. Irrespective of how you earn, what much, how your lifestyle is definitely matter to certain extent, but it doesn't really make you immune to depression. Just for example, a famous comedian got depressed even after getting so much of reach, so much of fame, and we have heard of a lot of top celebrities because every lifestyle have its own repercussions, own advantages and disadvantages. There's a thinking pattern, okay, all things matter, and depression make it more easily for those people. And actually depression do not discriminate among people. You may be seeing the poor people being more happy, and it totally depends on genetics, the condition, your thought pattern, and a mixture of a lot. So it's not just a thing for unsuccessful people, or it is not just limited to poor people. That's the third. Fourth, I think there's a misconception that it is just a sadness. I'm feeling sad means I'm depressed. That is the major misconception. As I mentioned earlier, depression is a very complicated mental health problem that requires proper treatment, proper outlet. And all this stigma in today's world is actually creating a barrier where people are not able to express because they feel it's a sign of weakness, because the society has created that stigma that if you are depressed, if you are sad, you should not be sharing your feeling because it's a sign of weakness. But that is not so. It is so that if you are not able to outlet your emotions and you are feeling some or the other kind of mental health problem, it's going to affect your overall scenario, overall condition. I've re-emphasized the same thing. When you start thinking that what society will think or what other people will think, and you don't let your emotion, you don't let your feeling, you don't let your problem any outlet, definitely that problems remains within, and that kills you from within. And that's the most harshest thing you can do. And it's not a sign of weakness. Taking care of yourself, I've mentioned multiple times, loving yourself is not a sign of weakness. Being selfish sometimes is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of empowerment, that you take care of yourself physically, mentally, socially. Okay, you love yourself equally. So this stigma need to be removed, okay, and it all start from young generation like you and me, okay, who are definitely going to empower yourself and those around you with the knowledge that these stigma need to be removed, and you need to start taking care of your physical, mental health, social health, any health, okay, irrespective of what society think, because society will say anyhow, okay. If you are depressed, society will say something. If you are not depressed, society will say something. It's better to get treated and better be healthy rather than just not letting that outlet, okay, on just because of a thought that what society will say and what the stigma will say. And that is why I'm here to actually to debunk all those stigmas. So start taking care. Don't take depression very lightly. If you are seeing some or the other kind of symptoms, just go out, check a counselor, a therapist, whoever, okay, even outlet your feeling to your members, even to your family members, your friends, okay, and that will really help out. Because you start taking care of yourself, you will be a full person. And that is the crux, okay. Mental health problems can easily be treated like any other physical problems, okay. You cannot expect a person injured to run as much as fast as he can, okay, immediately after his injury. No, after an injury, whether it's a mental health problem or a physical problem, you need time for recovery. And that recovery time is a therapy or whatever, physiotherapy, mental health therapy, psychotherapy, and that will help you recover faster. But if you don't take care of it and you let it just because you have that stigma that society see it as a weakness, then you are creating chaos for yourself and those around you, because that eventually that untreated problem will create some or the other kind of hindrance in your life and will create chaos. So with that, I think I'm able to pretty much make you little clear what depression may be, and if not treated, what might be. We will be discussing it in more detail, but these are some stigma that our society holds, and a lot of stigma, and that I will be slowly debunking, okay, with the help of my knowledge and my mentors, and that will be a great help to not just you but the whole society. So start taking care of yourself, guys. Start taking care of your physical, mental, social, emotional, financial health, and that will make you a full individual being. Thank you, guys.